Ooh.
We have special guests tonight.
Just teaching myself how to pour incredible, local, handmade, delicious mojo for the people.
Whoa.
That's a ridiculous color.
You thought this was a glass blowing show, yeah? Well, there's the guy behind there that's starting it up. But in the meantime,
Let's pass this off over here.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Glass Academy.
Jeff?
Hi, everybody.
We got Robin and Jeff in the house. We got Valerie and Steph in the house. These are our taste testers tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And most importantly, we've got Rachel from Unity Vibration.
Hello.
That's
So-
the deal.
Jake, we got Beth, we got Oliver.
Howdy, everybody.
Not everyone has a mic, but we'll rotate up, and we got Chris in the house.
You guys got a lot.
So,
Want to
this
explain what's going on?
is a collaboration show, and is your mic near your mouth, or is it?
I don't know. It doesn't stay on my ear.
This is a collaboration show, folks, with Unity Vibration, and we're going to get into all of that in a few here, but we're getting directly into the hot molten magma, 2100 degrees. Chris has got a reactive color pattern going on here, and we're going to make both ours and Unity Vibration's favorite style of glass to be used for drinking this particular type of beverage. And we'll let you guys watch this. We'll talk about it. We've introduced the players, and then we'll get into some taste testing and talk about the process of making kombucha. And it should be a pretty radical experience.
You guys moved the bench on me.
Soon enough, it's going to be open completely 100%.
I know, but I'm like, where do I stand? It's our taste testing audience over here. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance if I'm standing in front of you.
It's a good one? 2 thumbs up. The elder one.
Ooh. And these are flavors we're going to have. We want to know what the popular ones are because we're going to have them on our tap when we open the beverage counter.
So as we get into this show, folks, Bess is still out here monitoring the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know right off the bat if you got any questions or comments about what you've just seen. But we're pretty much just going to get into making this piece, and then we'll give you guys the lowdown. But we're curious to see what you think so far.
We've already got a lot of people logging on saying hello. Sharon says hi, everyone. Dana says hey, everyone from Georgia. Mary says good evening, checking in from Hudsonville, Michigan. Donna says hey from Twinsburg. Pam says hi from Fall River, Massachusetts. Steven says hi. We've got, let's see, Annette from Illinois. Gabrielle says hi, Val. You got a special shout out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Masayo says hello from California.
What up?
Let's see, over on the YT side, Angel says, hello, beautiful glass blowers of art. Sorry, I'm translating in my head. Today in Argentina, it's the Teacher's Day.
Teacher's
So
Day.
he says, shout out to
That
all
was the
teachers.
Google Translate, or that was your brain
No,
translating?
this is my brain.
Ah, Bess. Let's go.
Impressive. You know,
Amazing.
her brain has a lot on it. She's getting married on Friday.
Let's see the
So
ring
that
showed
was
up.
super impressive
Oh, baby.
that she was able to handle all that.
Just a couple days away. She's still out here on the gathering point.
I know. Thanks, Bess.
So if you guys are new to the show, Chris has completely spiraled up. I counted like 12 vortexes on this bubble of glass, and he's now going to start shaping it into the cup top of the piece. And you can see we've got it expanding right now, and Oliver's blowing into the pipe. Oliver is our hot chop champion over here. Chris has been on every single one of these shows darn near. And they're starting to work together on this piece. And a really cool thing with Snifter, should I pop over the table real
Yeah,
fast?
let's jump to the table.
We'll make it real quick. Don't move the camera too fast. But just in case you don't know what a Snifter style of glass is, the general idea, it's a low, thin, delicious foot, one short stem, and then a really thin, nice drinking lip to it.
Ooh,
Here's
that
another
would look
traditional
nice with that elderberry in it.
snifter shape, that low tuck with the light flare. This is a beauty right here, number 11. We'll get into the details of all these in a minute, but I want you guys to see what Chris is going for as he starts to shape up the stem of this piece. Yeah, super swirler. Oh, little 3-team action.
Okay, we have 4 microphones. I'm going to be handing off my mic to Chris after this piece. We're going to get Rachel on it. She's going to tell us her favorite flavors and any kombucha questions you have. She's in the house. She's got the answer.
Yeah, start thinking up what kind of questions you might be curious about having to do with kombucha if you've heard about it before.
Like what type of music she plays when they're brewing it. Did you know this?
No, that's
Awesome.
amazing. We're going to have to hear about
It
that.
has a lot of berries in there. That's why it's so dark.
Maurice, that was my grandfather's name.
Hmm.
Was?
Yeah.
Maurice or Maurice? Big on difference.
What does that mean?
Subscribe to the channel, folks. So Oliver's bringing over some hot glass from the furnace,
yep,
2100 degrees.
You're off for now.
And Chris is going to drop it on there. And as stemware goes, it's not a very easy thing to shape up. You get 1 or 2 chances to do it. And we're going to go for a nice petite one. He did.
Throwing him for a loop.
Sharon says, I'm a snifter kind of woman. However, I see a snifter margarita combo on the table. Jody says, hey from stunning Prince Edward Island, Canada. 2 weeks in a row catching the live show. Alice says, hi, everyone. Alice from New York. Brenda says, hello from Minnesota. Steven says, hi from Scotland. Hello, Steven.
Scotland.
Scotland's a new one.
Very cool. Jez says, hi from the airport.
I wonder in Scotland, do they drink kombucha?
Good question, Steven. Do you guys drink kombucha in Scotland? Oliver's grandma says hello, everyone.
Who's
Oliver's grandma says hello. Let's see here. We've got Carol from Sarnia. Pat says evening from Shelby Township. Got a lot of people hopping on saying hello. Did you hear we got somebody from Scotland on right now?
That's incredible. It's just great golf in Scotland.
Have you golfed in Scotland?
No, I would like to.
It's a kombucha glass.
So as always, this first piece is going to be available to members only.
That's right.
Chris said it's a kombucha
So they
glass.
did just figure it out there. This is a members only kombucha glass. The first piece of the show. Beth just mentioned it. If you guys are subscribing, Loyalty League member, this one's available for you. And he will still iridize. I gotcha. That works pretty darn nice. Jesus. He will still iridize that texture, that pattern, that color pattern.
Greg says hello, everyone.
Who does?
Greg.
Oh, Greg. All right. Very nice.
We have some Renaissance fans who are listening to the show. If this is your first time here, it does not cost anything. Subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll see you every week here on the Glass Academy. There are lots of pages on our YouTube, or lots of videos on our YouTube channel. If you like glass blowing, the cool thing about YouTube is you can always freeze frame them to look at something. You can fast forward them.
So here goes the flip around.
Up close and personal. So
Oliver,
close, we
there
hit
we
his
go.
head.
She was resting it on my ear.
I kind of like this wide open
I think I have
area
to taste
here.
test
I know.
it.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling a little
The
displaced.
streaming zone. Super nice.
Okay, Rachel, do you want to pour some more flavors and
Of
fill their
course.
glasses?
I think we're going to switch to the straight up kombucha tea now.
Do you wanna
So we're
come
going
up?
to do that. We have a really nice pineapple ginger traditional kombucha tea. This kombucha tea is a 1% alcohol. You might ask yourself, like, why does this kombucha tea have 1%? It's because we brew authentic, and kombucha tea, like you would brew in your home, has naturally occurring fermentation. So this is our 1% product, super beautiful, and raw pineapples juiced and ginger juiced. So, anybody ready for some pineapple ginger? Should I come around? You're gonna
It
come up?
sounds so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
So this will be
Super
quite
refreshing.
a bit more low test than the thing you just had, which was about 7%. But this will be delicious.
How do you? This one is a 1%.
No, this is a tea. Yeah. Say that again, Jake.
How do you implement the pineapple and the ginger into the process?
So we do the tertiary fermentation, and then at time of bottling, we juice the pineapple, juice the ginger, and then we combine it, and then we do the bottling. So it
So
doesn't
it's-
ferment altogether. It's essentially a plain.
Gotcha.
Yes, and then we add the juice for
And
this.
you juice your own pineapples and ginger
Yes.
to add to this?
Yes, we do.
That's pretty serious.
Robin says it's
That's
really
so good.
Yeah, lots of juicing going on.
That's awesome.
I wasn't sure if I would like this one. The ginger pineapple, but it's very good.
Thank
It's not
you.
really spicy, is it? It's more like is it spicy? Does it have a little kick to it?
The spices from the ginger, I feel like, right?
There's a little bit in there for sure. The pineapple, I feel like, is is on the front, and then the ginger's more on the back, and it leaves a nice warmness in your mouth and your palate.
Mm.
Of
Coming
course.
back for more
Here you
back
go.
here. Depends on how your taste buds work, I suppose. Stuff's pretty good. It's making me thirsty.
We'll have some after the show.
So it looks like these guys flipped it around and opened up, put a lip wrap on
It
it,
says
and they're
greater than
opening
half
up
a
the top
percent
of this
on the
glass.
front.
This is on the larger side. I think this one would probably be, between 16 and 18 ounces. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think that one's probably about 17 ounces, it looks like.
There we go.
I'll give it another half an ounce with an extra buffet.
No more paddle.
Maybe a little paddle.
I've been turning her down. Annette says, Chris, that is gorgeous.
Wait till you see it bling-a-sized. He went for the deep bump and the flare. He's going to stamp the side of it on this particular piece. Oh, man.
That was crazy.
Tasty looking.
Can they hear the crowd through the mics?
You can hear them a little bit if you get closer, Jake.
Look how thin that foot is. Yeah.
That's the copper ruby and iridescent gold combo. And that's not just your traditional combo. They have a chemical reaction. That's why it gets that calico pattern. And if you guys remember back to 2022, our signature pumpkin was the ruby calico pumpkin. Could have been 21. I think it was. But now we're going to go for the bling here. And if you guys have ever seen our shows before, you know a lot of metallic colors don't look metallic till the very end. So Oliver just added a bunch of gas into the reheating chamber. And that's going to give it this blue, kind of purplish iridescence to the glass.
You guys are giving me the challenge, moving stuff around.
We had a question come in for Rachel.
Go for
A
it.
question for Rachel?
Is this local to Michigan? Can they find this in Pennsylvania?
They can find it in upstate New York.
Turn your mic on. You're good. You're good.
Run that back for us.
One more time.
Yeah, no worries. Turn on the mic. We are in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and we do have distribution upstate New York. So you can find it like Elmira and places like that. And we don't have any distro in Pennsylvania currently.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Flipper.
Dealer on the far end of the shop. Can I ask that?
You've
Why
never
do
asked that
we
question
have
before, have you?
The farthest away annealer.
Would you like the answer once again?
Yes.
Because we blow glass from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Use
on
that
Tuesdays.
one when you're blowing glass.
And it is. We used it all day long, and it's full of glass, but the expense of turning on a whole nother box is just the same amount as turning on a whole other glory hole, so it just won't work.
That's right, folks.
So
Okay.
now that that's all settled.
All right, while you guys are deciding the next one, I'm wheeling into Rachel.
All right.
All right, what else could you tell us about kombucha we don't know?
That you don't know. Kombucha is fermented tea. Everybody probably knows that, but it's super healthy for you. Is your mic on?
All right, start again.
Run it
It's
over.
okay.
Kombucha is fermented tea, and one thing that's really super awesome is kombucha comes in many shapes and sizes now that kombucha's become popular and kind of more modern. In fact, we have 3 SKUs. We have kombucha spritzer, kombucha tea, and kombucha beer. And the fun thing about kombucha beer is you can get your probiotics and
Oh,
catch
like
a
a
nice little
healthy
buzz.
beer.
Yes, which is so fun. And we're going to open, I think, right now we're going to open the ginger beer.
Okay.
And I need to open that with a bottle opener.
So she's got a bottle opener. She's going to, anyone who
Here it
buys
comes.
tonight will get a sticker with their order.
and
This
here we
one-
go.
Wait a second, that's a show one.
So should we not use it?
Yeah.
All right. I'll grab a different one.
Okay. I mean, we can show you what it looks like in the show ones, but we want to be respectful of the people getting them. All right.
All right. Ginger. There is 18 pounds of ginger
What?
in a 250-gallon batch, and it is smoking and delicious. Here we go.
Where do you get your ginger from?
Our ginger is from many places.
Yeah, it's a
We
lot of
don't
ginger.
grow ginger in Michigan, but 80% of what we make is sourced locally. So,
Green Things Farms grows ginger.
It's pretty amazing.
ooh,
Did you know that?
No.
They did a whole hoop house.
thank you.
Yes.
I will contact them. I go and get my stuff. They have a farm stand, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to ask next time.
I did want to mention, since we just talked about the distributing of this and where you can find
Yeah.
your products and whatnot, when people do come and visit the Glass Academy, which a lot of you guys have came to visit us, some of you guys are out of the country, some of you guys have been here one time, maybe never, but when you are planning on coming here, they're not even, I think it's about a half hour, even less,
We're in
from the
Ypsi.
studio here in Ypsilanti. So it's worth making a trip, and we can recommend other beautiful places as well, and you pick yourself up a 6-pack and take it home with you. It's a pretty beautiful process.
Amen.
So
Cheers.
as soon as you pass that microphone off, I'm going to start this one up. But I brought this over because I wanted to show you guys this dimpleizer pattern right here. This is the dimpleizer, and it's a beautiful shape and it's a beautiful color, in my opinion, for drinks like this. And this is a lighter one that she just poured. But that red one we started with, and in many other beers, a lot of people like to see what's going on in their glass. So per Michelle's request on a lot of these, she wants transparency. She wants to see what's going on.
when the colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, that's just stunning.
It's gorgeous. So again, this is number 11, turned out amazing, and we're going to get into a brand new, super amazing, sweet situation here.
I'm going to run. Oh, thank you. I'm a baby.
All right, so we are getting started on another glass here. As you guys can see, Rachel is filling up our taste testers' glasses. There's nobody talking right now.
All right. So we're getting started on another one over here. These guys got their glasses refilled. Chris is going for the dimpleizer, and as soon as he gets a chance, he's going to dimpleize it.
I do have 2 things to mention real quick. The piece that was just made for our Loyalty League members only is now available through the link you guys received in your email. You guys also, for Loyalty League, received a video of I believe it was a YouTube video of a glass being made, and that glass from that video, if you're interested in it, is now available in that members link as well. So that same link has 2 pieces on it right now. That has the piece that was just created, and then it also has the piece from the YouTube clip that was sent out this week as well. And Michelle's going to show that off here on camera.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the crowd goes crazy.
We need like a 5th mic that's just catching the peanut gallery.
We need peanuts on the floor.
Amazing. That's a similar pattern in the size 2 grain of color as that last members piece that was just put up pretty recently, I believe, into the members, the Loyalty League purchasing zone.
Table will go live in 9 minutes. So you guys will have to have some fast fingers there because there's some pretty cool pieces.
Wow, 9 minutes. It
Dimpleizer
feels
happens
like
fast.
we're an hour into the show, but we're not even.
We are not. We are 21 minutes in.
I
picked it up there and just didn't melt it in all the way. Blew it out right at the right time.
I'll work it with the microphone here. A question coming from the crowd was that how the heck did the dimpleization happen? Hand in the air, the crowd question asker. Thank you very much for a beautiful question. Chris took it over here and he put it into the size 2. You can only do it with larger grain color, and he did it after the bubble was blown in there, so he didn't melt it in all the way. That's kind of the same way we do our sugar pumpkins, which we'll get into that process.
Don't give
for
away
our
all our
virtual
secrets.
show. Oh yeah, look at that.
Glass Academy, glass blowing secrets. No.
Lost the camera there. Yeah. Technical question coming from Robin.
So, chlorine wool,
Yep.
is it the gas or the high heat that causes the iridization?
That's a great question. When we go for the iridization at the very final step of the process, which will happen again with this size 2 right here, Robin's wondering what actually makes that metallic property come out in the color. Is it extra heat or is it more gas? The answer is that it's pretty much more gas. If anything, it's actually less oxygen is the way that we change the flame, which by deduction is more gas. If you cut down the oxygen, then it's just the same amount of gas, but there's no oxygen in there propelling the flame. So it's not blasting it at a high temperature, it's just a really gassy, or what we call a fluffy flame. Oh yeah, beautiful foot there.
So could you describe to me, Jake, number 2?
Number 2.
What does number 2 mean? Because if you were
One
potty,
more than number 1.
if you were
Number
PATA
2.
training, number 2 means something.
I thought it was Dr. Evil's second in command. That's what I thought.
That's a crazy
And this
ass
will
foot.
be, as a pure example of number 2, this is going to be foot number 2. Foot number 2, folks. Thanks for asking. But let me put this mic back on 1 second, and I'll give you a perfect example of the difference between a fluffy flame and a hot flame.
But wait a second. What happened? Why?
You want to explain about how timing works, and if you don't do it all right at the right time, it doesn't work?
Yeah. That's how it works, folks.
Sorry, we have an edit break.
Oh, yeah.
She does love the
So
tables.
cute.
That piece was, the foot came a little bit funky, and so he had to fix it up a little bit, and the time he took getting the foot off the bottom of the piece, the cup top cooled down 3 or 4 seconds too much, so he went back for another heat, and the cup top cracked. And that is kind of what Chris was saying, and he's going for another one. He's dunking right back up, but that's what he was saying, is that it needs to be perfect. Timing needs to be perfect.
So while he's starting another one, could you step over here and tell me what flavor interests you?
Absolutely, and then maybe we could go over the product table, and they'll just blow glass in the background for a minute.
Which
What
one
did
was
you want from
grabbing
me?
your attention?
So
Let's take a look, yeah.
let's see. I was looking at the list earlier, and the bourbon peach sounded amazing.
If I'm not mistaken, is
mood
that
are
your
you in?
top selling one, the bourbon peach?
The bourbon peaches.
Yeah.
And I do have that one here.
That one is ridiculously tasty.
Oh, and I think you have a
But
customer.
Have you had this?
Oh. Rojo
I love
Mango.
this.
Have not tried.
It's
That
like a
sounds amazing,
chilada.
too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this is our newest flavor,
Chili,
mango tamarind and tahini.
pour it up.
All
Sounds
right.
amazing.
Let's do it. If you're a Spice fan, come on over. Not, go sit down.
Just a tiny bit. Now, what do you try? That's good. That's rejected glass.
Another amazing question. What happens with the rejected glass, folks? Many of you may know, if you've seen the show before, that the glass that hits the floor is from any broken
Oh, you got
products, but
something
there's
else in
also
there.
about 30% of everything that
You
comes
need a
out of
dump-
the furnace
you
is a
need a dump
means to
bucket.
an end, is glass that is just used to get there. And we run a whole second furnace with recycled glass.
You just make other products.
We make other products, and all the colors, somehow through nature and Mother Earth, they all become a beautiful light blue. And we can use it for various different products. Actually, between swapping in 2 new furnaces, we're down on recycled glass right now. But any of our ice theme products or snowmen or anything with a blue tone to it is
This
typically
is,
recycled glass,
like a
which is really
chilada.
beautiful. Mom, do you want to go over a couple of the snifters and see what's on the table, perhaps?
Yeah, let me just dial in one time on this color.
Okay.
Because he didn't do number 2 dots. He
Okay.
did something different. And we'll get back to that number 2 question.
That sounds great.
What Chris did was like a super swirl on it. And we're trying to zoom in.
Look at that.
So it looks like a painted stripe.
So, as they pump that up with air, I want to show off what we have for sale here tonight and to be used with kombucha or any other beverage that you want to drink out of it. We made various different sizes from 10 ounces to about, I'd say probably 17 is the max, just like Chris was making. But we've also debuted our brand new color pattern, the Quick Comoo, which is what we'll do when I get a chance on the pipe. Oliver and I'll make one. You could see in there, it's perfectly solid white with a perfect line of clear. And this one has a particular texture, just like the one he just made, except this is a tinier grain texture gold on the outside. There's some really beautiful ones in here. Number 8 is a ridiculous purple basket weave. It looks amazing in the sunlight.
I really like number 9.
Jeez. You got 7 with the Van Gogh. Number 6 here has some ridiculous texture on the outside.
Kind of like a pumpkin-esque style.
Yeah. Number 2 is a Quick Comoo as well, as is 4 and 5. And another reminder that pumpkins are on pre-order, folks. We'll be shipping them out to the general public this week. Next week, I mean Tuesday. Oh, we got some audience participation going on, Mom.
Like a slub shot.
Right over here. Look at Jeff getting on the pipe.
What?
Palm or thumb? Yep, there you go. Yeah.
We're just trying to like really get it tight.
All right. Taking a look at the comments, folks. You guys remember to ask some questions as you're watching live. We love looking at the comments after the fact as well.
I think
So this is the triple team effort going again here. Steady hand, Oliver.
Go ahead and blow, Jeff, very lightly. Blow.
Oh, yeah.
Harder. Good.
Give him a round of applause, you guys. Incredible. Amazing. Just great work. Yeah.
Likes IPA, so we'll do that. So it's 6:30, means the table is now live. Beautiful. So you guys can go in there with your quick fingers, snag some beautiful glassware.
And again, these were made for this show. I mean, we made these a week and a half ago. We have our shows planned 2 weeks out now at this point. We've got our incredible virtual pumpkin show coming up pretty darn soon. Is that next week, you guys? No.
October 1st.
October 1st, yeah.
So not
Jeez.
next week, week after, 2 weeks.
That's right. October 1st, virtual pumpkin show. But it feels really good, and it's really nice to design products and make them for a specific show and actually have it planned out and plan on utilizing that specific style and talking about how you drink out of them and what they're used for. And also, as you start shopping on the website, remember that we're going to be sending out a sticker with every piece, a Unity Vibration sticker. And Bess, if you haven't already done it, I'm sure you have, but would you mind popping up her website, their website, into the comments?
I can do that.
Assets. I forgot to tell you, I uploaded assets.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys watch the comments in just a second here, I will go ahead and load up that website link in the comments so you guys can check them out. Already got some fast fingers snagging a lot of those beautiful glasses on the table. So if you are interested in one, thinking about it, better grab it because they are going quick. Sharon says things happen when you have a martini during the show and the table goes live. What's happening, Sharon? Oh, I see what happened. It just came through on my end. We snagged a really cute one. So I do have that link in the comments for you guys on both YC and FB to check them out. And I will repost the link for the table as well. And then I think somebody has a question in the audience.
A question from Steph in the audience.
You said that you were doing 12 hours of glass blowing on Tuesday. How many items or products do you generally make in that 12-hour?
That's a really great question. Depends on the product completely.
Okay.
And that's the difficulty of pricing products and color and how that all works. And it's multiple teams that work together. So we'll have one shift. Our morning shift is working until 4 o'clock. Oliver and I come in, work on the computers, and do some admin stuff, and then get into this shift, the live glass blowing shift. And it depends because a color pattern like the one Chris is working on compared to the first piece, I'd say that first color pattern took an extra 20% in time. And depending on the products, drinkware takes a lot longer than, say, maybe pumpkins do. But then you start doing our specialty color patterns with pumpkins, and it totally varies based on the size and the scale of the piece. And what you can handle physically. Some products are more demanding physically than other products. So you have to brake a little bit more, or you're rotating around staff and the job that's available, who's turning the pipe in one moment, who's doing the color pattern in one moment. So the long way around that question is that it really depends.
The glass blowers can never answer a brief question.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Between 1 and 50 pieces.
On a good day with 2 benches going, we love it if we could fill up 1 box full of product. And that's a great thing. But then there's the business portion of what products are profitable, what's able for us to be able
And
to do.
what you can sell. We had a guy one time was like, you
sell.
should be running 3 shifts, 3 8-hour shifts. You're losing money when you're not blowing through the night.
Well, you got 2 furnaces, and obviously we've got 1 now. We've had a multi-month transition of 2 brand new furnaces going, but when you are running a constant gas stream, keeping something at 2,000 degrees, you do have the natural inclination to want to run production from 6 a.m. to midnight, you know, because everything's on. But there's
then
a
you
fine
become
line
like
to balance.
a Simon Pierce or Corning Museum of Glass.
Or a Glass Academy.
And we do love teaching classes too as well. It's a really nice way to supplement for our glass blowers and the team. Supplement getting a little creativity from blowing glass, but also talking to people and doing these shows keeps it fresh for us too. And people are asking questions about various different things that makes you think about it a little differently. Oliver had a great class come in this weekend. He had a blast, the whole family here for a birthday, and that just kind of reinvigorates you for the week full of glass blowing action.
What happened to your shirt?
I was drinking water so vigorously, or was it kombucha, who knows, that it poured all over myself. So look at the elasticity of the glass here and the way Chris is opening it up. This particular color pattern doesn't have a lot of texture on the outside, so he's really taking his time to get the shape exactly how he wants. Certain color patterns, if you're going to go for texture, like the basket weave over there, or even sometimes the dimpler, if you overheat that glass and shape up the top of the lip area multiple times, you'll start to lose that texture. But that can also be used in a beautiful way, and you can use it to swirl it in a certain direction. And some people often are like, I love it when the texture gets melted out.
All right, let's talk about number 2. Because sometimes, like with tech things, there's a word, jargon, tech jargon. So when Jake mentioned number 2, what I want to mention is it looks like, what would be the size of that? Like small beach stones?
Beach pebble.
Right? Versus this, which is like the consistency of salt. So number 2 to a glass blower is a certain size. There's 00, which is super fine. There's powder. Then it goes up. There's sizes that are like chocolate chip size. Dale Chihuly, I think, was very smart. He called them jimmies. I'm going to take some of these jimmies and put them on the table because they look like little jewels. This is our signature. Small little bit of glass. It's going to get a little extra torch on it. And then a stamp. And this is a reduction color, yes?
So I want to let you guys know I've had a couple comments that the photos, the numbers on the website did not match at all what was on the table. Everything was all mixed up.
Are you kidding me?
Hope you guys were purchasing by the photo. I did just rearrange everything, so everything should match up now, but everybody keeps mentioning it in the comments, so I'm just throwing it out there that it is corrected.
Oh.
Have been swapped, folks, and this one's available here. I believe that's still some sort of ruby, maybe gold brown? Blue. Blue with iridescent gold. Beautiful break. Popped right off.
Barely even tapped it.
That was tender.
There really isn't anything to melt away.
That's nice work.
Rachel, go over another flavor. Or tell them what the SCOBY is.
Yeah, you could tell them about the SCOBY. Yeah, you
okay,
can prop
you guys,
it up if you want.
No.
We did have a couple people say, what exactly is kombucha? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, let's break it down, and I got a follow-up question I want to ask you
All
as
right.
well afterwards.
Okay, sweet. Kombucha is a thousands-of-year-old tradition of tea fermentation, and I would say it came around the world really from China and then into Russia and around the rest of the world through war and trade. So it has been it's a very old brew. So kombucha essentially is just fermented sweet tea. Take your southern sweet tea, you add a little bit of culture with the SCOBY. A SCOBY is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. leave it for a week to 3 weeks, and this beautiful magical elixir comes out. It's amazing, beneficial acids, probiotics, beautiful, tart, sparkling. That's kombucha. Super good for you, naturally occurring.
Can you explain the visual of a SCOBY?
Oh, yes.
Break it down for the people
Okay.
here.
Scobies are sometimes beautiful and sometimes very ugly, and both are fine. A new SCOBY, just like a little baby or a new baby, is beautiful with beautiful smooth skin, light color, and as it ages, every time you re-ferment it, because you're using the same SCOBY or symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast, every time you brew, it's a culture that sticks with you. You don't throw it away. You drain it and bottle it, and you have your SCOBY, and then you add more tea and sugar. And every time you brew, it grows another layer. And the beautiful layer is on the top, and the yeasty old layer is on the bottom. They are dead yeast cells that die, and they kind of hang down, and you do need to clean those sometimes, and some people do not clean their SCOBYs. So therefore you get an ugly SCOBY. But you always have the beautiful layer on the top.
And how long do they last?
Oh, goodness.
What's the lifespan?
The SCOBY that you have will last a very long time unless you toss the whole thing, right?
Are we
'Cause it's
talking
from
like
the
5
original.
years?
We've
Longer?
had our SCOBY is original. So we've had ours for 15 years, but
Wow.
it's an iteration. It's just the DNA of the first.
So it's
kinda
like a mother plant.
sourdough, like the sourdough starter bread thing. It's
Exactly.
the same thing.
Sure.
Right, and you throw away, obviously. You clean the dead yeast cells and you cut some of those layers off the bottom.
Yep.
When you get SCOBYs like ours, they're giant, they're huge. They take 2 people to haul them out of the
Oh
tank.
my goodness.
Whoa.
So
Are you
yeah,
serious?
Give it
yes.
a bath and
yes.
put it back in there?
Yes, cut it off. Like you feel like you're butchering sometimes with a knife. You know, you
That's
got to
so
cut that off.
crazy.
Kind of like the texture of like a mushroom or like a scallop or
I
something.
would say yes. It's like a scallop, and I always say it reminds me of a jellyfish, the way it
Oh,
floats
yeah.
on the water, kind of like a jellyfish. There's so many uses for SCOBYs. It's so interesting. You can dry them. They can be clothes. They can be paper. They can be so many things. It's really crazy. So there's so much good in kombucha. Really, we just don't. It's the tip of the iceberg. But let's talk about the next flavor.
Let's do it.
Okay. So the next flavor that I have a request from Greg for was our IPA-ish kombucha beer. This is called Grapefruit Haze.
IPA-ish.
Yes. This showcases 3 beautiful Michigan hops, Mosaic, Citra, and, what's the last one? Let me look. Mosaic, Citra, and
Cascade.
Thank you.
What is
I did not
Cascade?
formulate this one. So, sorry,
What
I
is
don't know by heart.
Cascade? That's a flavor?
Cascade, these are all hops. These are Michigan-grown
Oh, got
hops
it.
from the UP. So that's where we get our hops from, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Beautiful juniper berries, grapefruit rinds, delicious. Greg, come forward.
As she pours this one up, I'd like to maybe hand off my microphone to either Oliver or Chris, and I'll start up the next piece. And
I'll give
maybe
you a nice
if
good one.
anybody in the audience has anything they want to mention about the flavors or talk about, we could have the microphone held up to them. Oliver, would you take
Anybody
this one
else
from
like
me?
grapefruit haze?
We do have
This
one more
is
question
hops and
for
grapefruit.
Rachel. Rachel, we do have another question for you regarding flavor.
Yes.
Sharon says, I really want to drink kombucha. A lot of the brands I've gotten are way too vinegary for my taste. Do you have a flavor that you would suggest for her?
Okay, is she in Michigan?
She is.
Oh my goodness.
She's Livonia.
She should hop on by the tasting room.
Okay.
Ours is very palatable. I would say if she comes to us, I would try the pineapple ginger.
Okay. All right, Sharon, you heard it. Pineapple ginger, start there.
Okay.
So we are getting started on another piece here. Jake just handed off his mic to Oliver, so you're going to hear his lovely voice come over to narrate here in just a second.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello,
Hi.
Oliver. How's it going?
It's good. How are you doing, Bass?
I'm really glad you're not mute anymore. I like when you have a mic.
It's such a different experience being on the show and just like focusing on the glass blowing and not having to talk so much. But it's good to have the microphone and be able to narrate a piece a little bit.
Absolutely.
But I did get a little bit of direction from Jake on one conversation in particular he wanted to have, but I think I'm going to give it a little bit of time, let them settle into what they're doing. So, Jake, are we doing what I think you're going to do? Is that what's about to go down? So,
Why, yes, it is.
the quick Comoo TM.
That's right.
Now, we've been doing this a lot at the Renaissance Festival. I don't believe we've done any of this on the show. We didn't do this last week, I don't think. So,
We told them we were going to tell them about
Okay, where we were gonna tell him about it. So let me grab a seat here. I'm gonna take Bess's spot for a little bit, and let me tell y'all a story. Buckle up. Let me regale you with what I found out. So about 2 weekends ago, Jake and I are out at the Renaissance Festival on Saturday, and Jake tells me that the Friday that I wasn't at work, him and Matt were working, and they invented a brand new glass blowing technique, never before seen.
What?
They just invented out of the ether. And I was like, that's amazing. What is it? And Jake looked at me and said, well, you're going to have to wait to find out. I'll just show you. And that Saturday, we got slammed with custom orders. And at like 7:30 in the morning, Jake told me that he had invented a new technique, and I was going to have to wait and see. And I didn't get any details. I didn't get to see this until like 5 p.m. that night. And I just had to beg Jake to show me this technique. So this is inspired by the Encalmo technique, where you take two disparate color patterns and you fuse them together, and usually it's a very meticulous, very time-consuming operation to make that happen. And you see that Chris just dropped that extra color onto the end of this bubble that Jake has. And Jake, was that a clear bubble, or did that have color on it?
So that's what he's making now, is something using his new technique?
This is the new technique. Jake's invented a couple new techniques in like the last month and a half. He's been on an invention train. Jake, is that just clear as your base? So we're going to have clear, and it's going to fade into whatever color that was that Chris used. It looked like it might have been blue of some sort. Okay. Opal Pidgey.
What are you making with your technique?
This will be a Snifter, and this is going to be one of the coolest. This is a replica of one that was made and sold at the Renaissance Festival. That was maybe mine. I don't even know if it was here.
Let me speak
I know the
on
one
that.
you're talking about, though.
So now we have this opal pigeon blue at the bottom, and you watch Jake marver that in. He's going to smooth it out, and then as he does that, he is going to be cooling the clear section and then blowing air through.
So such
He's
a
going to
beautiful
push that bubble into the section of blue. And if we just wait a little bit and we ask Jake nicely, he might put some size 2 dimpler frit on the pigeon frit. Isn't that what we're calling it? Dimpler frit? Gonna give the dimpler?
I think that's a great name, and that's, I think, Little Oliver's first contribution to the naming
To the naming?
of what's going on around here.
So this is a Jake. That blue's on the bottom.
Okay.
That blue is on the bottom. It's a 50-50, so it's clear on top, blue on the bottom, and then we have this size 2 partially melted in dimpler frit, giving it some nice texture. And Jake was saying, he doesn't have a mic right now, but he was saying that this is a replica of one of the first of the batch that him and Matt made on that Friday, and it made it out to Renaissance Festival. And all the glass blowers fell in love with this piece, so he's making another one because it didn't stay on the shelf for too long.
So the Encalmo means that he took the blue color and he encased it in the clear?
That's a great question, Robin. So Robin asks, does the Encalmo mean that blue is encased in clear? And it's actually blue and clear butted up against each other, side by side. I'll see if I can pull an example for you so you can see what it looks like here. I'll bring this to the microphone in one moment, but it's going to be just like this, where it's
Okay. All right.
clear.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Take a look. So this is the clear section. It's going to be a darker blue, actually. But then that blue is right at the bottom. And we have this very, very strong distinction. It's not a fade. It is clear. And then it is very blue. And that is what the Encalmo is all about. And this is just a quicker method to get to that same place.
Pretty cool.
We're also going to do a little technique of putting color just on the bottom of the folio.
Oh.
Find hidden in a couple of those pieces on the shelf.
Chris dropping that glass on there. Jake pulling it off a little bit.
Jake mentioned to me, guys, this is Chris. Just letting everybody know.
Hello, Chris.
Some people might think it was Jake talking, but he wanted to get a heat on that before we paddle the bottom of this Evolio to melt the cup mark in so it's nice and smooth. Sometimes that cup mark will grab onto the charred outside surface of the paddle and it'll twist the Evolio. So for you few glass blowers out there, you really, when you're doing a two-part, if you're doing a one-part and you're not going to flash it, you want to just wrap it on the bottom of the piece. If you're going to cut it on, you got to melt away that diamond shear mark. Hey, what color are you thinking on the foot? Clear to match that top would look real nice.
For everyone here from the G8 team, we just got a big message from Amy saying that she couldn't teach yoga tonight. She was feeling a little bit under the weather, but the good news is that she was able to tune into our show. She's watching it not in real time. She's about 40 minutes behind, I believe. She's watching it from the start. So when you get to this point, Amy, hi, we see you. Hope you feel better.
We see you 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hello from the future.
I think that's like some type of weird, like, dimensional time warp.
Time warper.
You ready for this droppage?
Did you guys know there's a partial lunar eclipse tonight?
A partial lunar eclipse? When Kayla went to work today, she told me to like find the moon because it was so large apparently, and apparently it's just like extra big. I don't really know why the moon does that.
Harvest moon, I don't know quite why, but it's a thing. It's like a super moon, like a giant.
The moon grows and shrinks, and I have no idea
you get
why.
Closer to it.
That couldn't be why. It
Might
has
be.
to just be going through puberty.
It might be.
I know Oliver saw that. Saw how nice it just fell off the pipe.
I was watching.
I did want to mention to everybody out there who's watching tonight and everyone who's going to be watching it later that if you're local and you haven't been to Unity Vibration in Ypsilanti, Michigan, you gotta go there. Because I'll tell you what, their kombucha's amazing in the can, but it's way just as tasty, if not even better on tap.
And soon enough,
I love it on tap.
we're going to have our own tap.
Yeah, we will have it here on tap because we gotta have it here on tap, and their coffee kombucha is unbelievable. Still pretty flat down there. Yank it out a little more.
We'll probably do some
The punny's probably
housekeeping
gonna
after
come
this piece, but our question
The punny's
for the night is, have you tried kombucha? If you have, was it alcoholic, non-alcoholic for the most part? What kind was it? Maybe what flavor was it? But that is our question for the week. Have you ever tried to make your own? Maybe that's, something you could write about. But you are going to send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com. And that is how you will get entered to win our giveaway for the week. We've got a beautiful pumpkin that we're ready to give away after this piece. Great giveaway piece from last week going to somebody special.
Mm-hmm.
So stick around for that.
It's a good old pumpkin.
It is. It's cutie. Nice purps color.
Oh, yeah. Jeff and Robin checking out all the drinkware on the table.
Table is up to date. I've pulled anything that has sold so far. So if you guys are still interested
The
in
punny,
it,
guys. And speaking of punties, oh, she was?
that's fine. I'm good.
It's really hard to tell.
You can talk.
But it's all right, though. They like it when we are all talking.
Speaking of punties, what was that, Chris?
Speaking of punnies, did everybody know that we're having our annual, 475th annual Pumpkin Fest?
That's
The
a weird
first 2
transition.
weekends in October. It's going to be pretty cool. And is there a virtual show, Michelle?
October 1st.
October 1st. Beautiful. So if you are out of state and you're not flying in to hang out at the Glass Academy for one of the 2 weekends that we're having our show, which you should, because I'm telling you, it's a blast, and we're doing custom work all weekend long, both weekends. Check us out online on the 1st, and I'm not exactly sure how all that goes down, so Bess is going to have to tell you. I'll just be making pumpkins.
It's going to go down in a great way, even.
16th annual pumpkin. I don't have a mic.
16th annual.
the 16th time we've done this.
That's right. 16.
It's going to be
one
the best
less
one
than
yet.
17, one more than
And
15.
Just somewhere right in between. Funny how that works. Yeah. How many pumpkins do we make in order to be prepared for Pumpkin Fest? This is probably the most, that's a really good question. That is, this year is the most prepared we have ever been. We have been making pumpkins since probably February. And Jake and I looked at each other today and we said, we need more pumpkins. So there is, the world can accept as many pumpkins as you can make. There is no end to it. You can never make enough.
500?
Robin said at least 500. It's definitely more than 500.
And if they didn't know, there's a give back portion to every signature pumpkin sold as well.
Ooh, let me speak on that.
I don't know if we've released our give back yet.
We haven't talked about specifically what we're doing, but with the signature pumpkins, there is a give back associated with that where a portion of sales goes towards an organization that we're going to be donating to. So for every signature pumpkin sold, a little bit of money goes towards a good cause. And as we get into the official release of the signature pumpkins, we'll have more information about all that. Jake trimming this lip here. He pulled the old pluck and trim there. He's lengthening the top of the glass and thinning it out. That way it's the height he wants it to be and at the right thickness. And now we're just heating the top of this glass so that he can open it up. Going for the no lip wrap. Going to leave this one nice and even. Let it be for sipping.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even if we're sipping.
I feel like it's not too often on the live show we get to see Chris and Jake like fully work together like this. I feel like it's usually Chris and Jake gaffing and Matt or myself assisting. So it's nice to see you guys working together on the live show.
Just to give an update to our members, the mug from the YouTube clip sold, but the warmer upper from tonight is still available, and that is through your link, of course. The piece that was worked on prior to this, it was the blue and iris, Chris called it the blue and iris beauty. That is now live and available on the website for you guys as well. So we've still got, the table's updated, what's left up there is what's still available. We've got the piece that was just made prior to this, and then that Loyalty League warmer upper is available for those Loyalty League members. 9's a cutie. I really like 8.
Number 5 speaks to me on such a deep level. It's
very
like
regal.
Yeah, it's very like chrome from the outside, but because it's like over top on the clear and you can see through it real nice, it has good cobalt to it as well. I like it a lot.
Hey, we're going to reduce it right here, Oliver.
You're gonna give it the bling bling. We're gonna give it the bling bling. That was all iris dots on the outside, so now those are all gonna come out super iridescent.
So we literally just cut down the oxygen in the heat source here, and it made the gas so hot that it brought all the precious metals to the surface. And it's looking pretty darn beautiful.
Robin, it's so nice to have you back in the studio so we can hear your reactions to things. It's a nice glass. It didn't last 24 hours at Ren Fair, so it's good to see another one.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a pretty one. Your grandma likes
That
Oliver.
was a tasty one. That was the Dimpler demo.
All right.
The DD.
Chris, there's something that we got to talk about, and only you can be the one to speak about it. So come over here for a second. I'm going to cue you up. Will you talk a little bit about the shape of the snifters that we do, how they are designed with kombucha in mind, and what the shape of the glass can do for a beverage as a tasting experience?
Well, the first thing I can say is that the shape of this particular style really just pushes the kombucha down your throat very comfortably. And generally, every time I'm drinking it, I'm dying of thirst. So it's tasty. And whether it's one that has alcohol in it or one that has just the tiniest little bit, because most of it just has a tiny little bit, right?
Most of it does,
Yeah.
and most of the ones in the store have 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something that they're always kind of just trying to keep in control so that everybody knows what it is. And there's rules by that, isn't it? There's rules in the store where you got the stuff with 0 and you got the stuff with some.
Right, yes. So it's so interesting. It's placed, depending on the store, it's placed in different areas. So our 1% kombucha may be in an area where there's non-alcoholic, but it also might be in the beer section, which is
Right.
kind of weird. But our spritzer is always put with the regular kombucha. So
Yeah, the spritzers are... Oh, we didn't talk about Whole Foods, but you guys are pretty much in quite a few Whole Foods, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We're in all the Whole Foods in Michigan. We're in Fresh Time. We're in
Arbor Farms.
Arbor Farms. Who just told me? Better Health.
Hollywood
we're in
Market.
Zerbo's. If you look on the website, we're in probably close to 200 accounts in Michigan.
You're pretty much everywhere but 7-Eleven.
Right.
And that's okay, because you get everything else you need at 7-Eleven.
Right.
But the shape of the glass is really important, and especially with kombucha, these guys are doing so many cool, unique flavors. I mean, really tasty ones that you want to have that nice bowl shape that comes up and tapers. And with a snifter, it's kind of hiding the taste and the smell inside of it when you smell it. But when you've got a tulip, that's allowing it to kind of roll out into your nose. And it's really important to smell what you're drinking, especially with kombucha and bourbons and other type of drinks that really prepares your palate to taste that thing and enjoy it. So that's why it's so important. You don't want to just be drinking out of a coffee mug.
And you can actually come to Unity Vibration and get one of these beautiful folks' glasses. Our mug club is a blown glass club, and we get our glasses here.
Yeah,
and people love them.
It's an art installation, and the tap room, if that's what you guys are calling it, right, is the coolest place ever. These guys have shows, they have all different types of performances. I mean, you have poetry readings, you have bands, you have all
art
kinds of cool stuff.
installations,
Yeah.
fundraisers.
Well, I think anyone who's local and anyone who's not local, if you're coming into town, if you're coming in to visit the Glass Academy, or just doing anything in Metro Detroit, if you got a layover, how far are you from the airport? Only about, 20 minutes?
15 minutes.
15 minutes from the airport?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
worth it.
yeah.
So that sounds like, if anyone has any questions about Unity Vibration in their tap room, you better put it in the chat, guys.
Just ask about it.
Yeah. All right, what are you making, Jake? Let me guess. A footed Pilsner?
For the beer.
Snifter, I'm going to hop in and do some housekeeping real quick while he's just getting that piece started.
Man.
Don't have a ton to do here, but I do want to get it done. So
Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop the raspberry open.
So it looks like our Renfest class winner, I do have that name. Just a reminder, you guys, if you go out and visit us at Renfest, go ahead and enter our giveaways there. We do give away a free class every single weekend, which is wild. So free class for 2, Michelle says. Even more wild. So free class for 2. So if you stop by Renfest, make sure you pop in our booth, say hey, watch some live demos, maybe buy something, and even if not, enter our giveaways. So congratulations to Donna. She is our winner for the class for 2 for week 5. I can't believe it's week 5 of Renfest already. It's flying by. So we've got that done. I know we've already mentioned it a couple times, but I do want to mention we have our virtual pumpkin show coming up on October 1st. Don't want to miss that. We've got a lot of cool things going on. Oliver, somebody asked, will we have any acorns at our pumpkin shows?
Like for the weekend of Pumpkin Fest? Yeah, we're going to have acorns. And actually, it wasn't too long ago, Jake, Matt, and I 3-man teamed a whole day of production of acorns, and we came out with a pretty unique design that we've never brought to the acorns before, and only the people who've come to the gallery have had the pleasure of seeing them. So there's going to be acorns out there.
Perfect. One more time, Michelle? Oh, Michelle says you can also custom order an acorn while you were here at the at the Pumpkin Fest. We're going to have custom orders available.
I mean, we're going to be primarily set up for custom order pumpkins, but that does not mean we are exclusively doing custom order pumpkins. So that's a great time to come on in, get a nice piece made right before your very eyes. Doing custom orders in front of people is like the best way to do it. That's how we do it at the Renaissance Festival, where we can sit and actually talk to you and be like, does this look like enough purple on it, or do you want some more power? And just work with the customer right then and there.
Absolutely. I do want to mention that, again, the piece that Chris was primarily working on, the piece that Jake is working on right now, both are, or I'm sorry, not the piece he's working on right now, the piece he just finished, are both available through the website. I also do have a beautiful purple pumpkin I'm ready to give away here as well. So Michelle's going to show off that beautiful pumpkin, beautiful classic Perps. Our question for the giveaway was, we chose the name Spicy Orange Sparkle for our signature pumpkin this year for a reason, but does it evoke any particular memories or feelings for you? So someone said, when I was little in the 60s, my mom had 3 little orange pumpkins that were our decorations, and those come to mind. Somebody says apple cider donuts come to mind. Someone says it reminds me of orange soda as a kid. Let's see here. Sounds like a yummy flavor. Makes me think of Cinderella's pumpkin coach. Let's see here. Our winner said it's a very fall-like color, beautiful. So, congratulations to Jody. So you're going to get an email about how to get your pumpkin. If you're local or you're going to be local, you can come by and pick it up, or you will get an email about how to get that shipped out to you. So congratulations for your beautiful little Perps pumpkin. So our giveaway question for this week, one more time, is have you tried kombucha? If you have, maybe what flavors or what kinds? To enter to win, you're going to send your answer and your name, please. Please be nice to Donna. To enews@glassacademy.com, and that'll get you entered to win whatever we decide our giveaway is this week. Right, Jake? He doesn't have a mic, but he said yeah. So Jake is working on another Snifter glass here. You can see he definitely used a mold. Is that a Perps? Is that a crayon? What are we looking at, Jake? And Jake says it's magenta. He doesn't have a mic, but I'll interpret, that's fine. So we've got magenta going on here. Again, what's left on the table, we've got 6 beautiful Snifters left. We've also got the 2 that were made here live on the show, as well as for the Loyalty League members, that piece is still available from the warm-up.
Suddenly it's quiet on the set.
It's not quiet.
What you got to say, Oliver?
I'm thinking about if Jake's going to take heat on this, or if he's going to want me to paddle it right away. He's taking a quick heat, he just told me.
Very nice.
That's like the one part about doing the Evolios on the bottom that I haven't quite figured out yet, is when Jake's going to take a heat on them or when he wants to go right for it. But we're shaping this up. I almost don't want to spoil it. Chris is working on something special here, an inclusion that's going to go in the stem. And I'd be curious to know if anyone can guess what it is. We got this Evolio here. We're going to put this piece in between it, and then we're probably going to do another Evolio and a foot. What do you got there, Bess? This is the
Spritzer.
The
so I believe this
Spritzer?
is 0 alcohol.
Oh, super nice.
Yeah. This flavor is rose, lime, and cardamom. Pretty good.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll try a little bit of it. Thank you. I am thirsty. Oh, whoa, that is super good.
It is.
I love anything with lime in it. I'm such a sucker for like lime and acidity. Anything like that is like after my heart.
Comment I'll read here. Linda says, Glass Academy has given so many one-of-a-kind pieces away for free, of which I have a gifted Perps mushroom, and I will cherish it for forever. Thank you.
Wow.
Very nice.
Oh, did I read that comment that I put on the clipboard?
Let me find the comment.
Ooh. All right, Chris, you want to talk about what you're doing, or you want to leave it a surprise still? Do we have any guesses in the chat, Bess, about what we think Chris is making?
Do we have any guesses in the chat about what Chris is making? No, nothing yet.
No one has any ideas.
I will read off a comment from last week's show that Michelle liked so much she actually printed it up and asked me to read it on the show for you guys. So, Signature Pumpkins pre-order released last week, and Mary ordered her Signature Pumpkin, and she said, "I just ordered my Signature Pumpkin, a large one. I'm so excited. I feel like a kid waiting for Christmas." Yes, Michelle says, "Isn't that the best feeling?" Yes, it absolutely is the best feeling. I always love, I like buying something new for myself. I don't get to do that all the time, but I love doing that. But then I also love when it's something that I just am so excited for, really love.
Over the
I
top.
love when it comes in the mail. I can watch
It's going to
the
need to be gold brown.
So Mary, we know exactly
Probably like
how
about
you feel.
like
We're excited for your pumpkin
thumb bit,
too.
nice and hot. 1 coat of gold brown.
Mary also says, "I love to see the paddle smoke and burn." It's pretty fun. It also has a pretty good smell in here when that happens.
So I'm making this a floating special little treat in here in the stem, you guys. It's going to be right on the bottom of Jake's piece. And now Oliver's bringing me a nice little decorative bit here. One coat of that special color there. A nice flash.
All right. Ready.
I'm ready. Never made one of these little things this way before.
Ooh. Whoa.
Whoa.
Ooh, I'm getting wild over here.
Did you just get attacked by a tree, Oliver?
This tree has been throwing me off a lot recently, actually.
Both pieces made on the show are now sold. The only piece remaining right now is that Loyalty League piece.
Okay.
And then we've got 3 snifters left on the table.
Pulling out a little bit further. Can you tell what this is yet?
That's right, a little tiny acorn for the stem. It's for a fall flavored kombucha.
Oh, that's so special.
All right, Jake, I think I'll just torch mine up. I think I'll just torch it and you can just push it right on the Evolio. What do you think? Kind of like an angle like that?
Yeah. That little 45-degree angle.
Natural thing? What about the mini snails?
What do you... Now,
I'll take those little guys. I'm ready when you are, Jacob. You got? Push on good. And I figured you could torch that little end and clean it up. Put another Evolio, drop it on. Footing tool foot for sure.
looks pretty nice. That acorn, yes, that acorn is going to be part of the stem. So we have an Evolio on top of it that we just connected that acorn to. And now we got to pull it out, make it like, finish the bottom of that, make it look real acorny. But then we'll do another Evolio on the bottom for structure, and then it'll go right into a foot.
So Oliver, we had a comment I just want to mention. Mary says, we haven't seen Matt in a while. Hope he's okay. Matt is alive and well.
He is not allowed out of the basement. Okay, and we're at
Yep.
Ren Fair time, so when he's not in the basement, he is returned to the swamp where he comes from. Matt. No, we got Matt. Matt is actually doing super well. In the mornings, he's doing production with a friend of ours named Jason, so he is getting like all the time in the world to do production and blowing glass with someone like brand new to him,
Nice.
and he's absolutely loving it. But Tuesday evening's a tough
Bit.
time for him,
We'll
what
drop
he's
it
got
on?
going on, so
think
Plus,
so?
working all day in the hot shop, we swap you guys out for right now.
yeah.
So Matt is alive and well. Have no fear.
If you want to see Matt, you're going to have to come and take a class or come to
Absolutely.
live glass blowing on Fridays.
Absolutely.
But-
Sharon says, what a cool idea. A perfect fall snifter with this acorn in it. Why didn't I think of this before? I don't know, Sharon. Why didn't you think of this?
Sharon, you should have thought of this months ago. We
Come
could
on,
have made
Sharon.
them.
Oliver, I've got another flavor for you to try. This is another one of the 0%, the spritzers.
Lavender, mint, and blackberry
Yes.
called Down to Earth. Oh. I like
That's a
that.
good reaction. I like it.
What does that remind me of? That's like a...
It's something, huh?
It's something. No, there's like a core memory in there of something that I had as a kid that reminds me of that.
Let me try it and I'll see if I can help you. I can't help you, but it's a fantastic flavor. It's 0%.
All right, so now we're going to be using the footing tool. After he puts the Evolio, we've encased this sweet little acorn right in between two Evolios. And now we're going to drop a nice looking foot on there. Should I make it cranberry? I like it. So Ollie's going to be leaning right over the marver, watching me put the cranberry color on the foot and then seeing how it drops so perfectly round.
Just rub it in more, Chris. Just rub it in more. It's fine.
You ready to go, Jake?
It's getting to be a pretty tall snifter.
Yeah, but with an acorn like that in there, you just got to take the height.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Chris, you reminded me of at the Ren Fair, we always get asked from the crowd how often we get burned.
Yes.
And you were on the microphone, Jake was making the piece, and I was assisting, and someone asked us that question, and you said, well, I don't really get burned that much, being that I've been blowing glass for so long, but if I do, it's from an assistant. And you looked right at me with the most intense eye contact in the world, and I watched Chris turn an entire crowd on me.
That was a classic move,
Just
guys.
for kicks.
Oliver, April says, is that a waffle pattern on the snifter?
That is the Nappler, the pineapple bulletone diamond pattern. Those are
name.
all the words that we can use
It's a
to
big
call
name.
that.
Squeezing it in there.
But yeah, that is the waffle pattern on there. We've been really enjoying doing the waffle pattern on these snifters and like just more thin-walled drinkware. Like, it's just looking so good with the jewel tone colors. Woo.
Do you know what I mean? Because before, I'd be coming this way.
That looks super good. All right. Let me get in here, read some comments for a little bit, see if anyone has any questions.
Absolutely. We're going to swap roles here for a second.
Yeah. Bess, you just get over there and blow glass for a little bit. John saying that we could switch it up and try a margarita glass. John, there is a martini glass here that Jake and I just cracked the code on like a weekend and a half ago, and I'm got to work on Jake a little bit and get a full show dedicated to just like martini glasses.
That would be fun.
Because we just figured it out. Laura Walsh asking if that was a Van Gogh acorn. For as much as I was looking at it, I didn't see if it was Van Gogh pattern or not. I believe that is just like a special color reaction. That's the same on the first vessel that we made here for members. Hey, Sharon. Good to see you in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take that mic from you.
Yep.
John saying that he remembers us saying that we get sizzled from the tools and pipes, and like being burned by the glass is rare. That's pretty true. I always tell people that I'm good for a burn about once every 2 months now. That's about the rate it happens, and it's always, for me, it's when I'm using the jacks and I just like crank my wrist over a little bit more and the blades touch the bottom of my forearm. That's whenever I get it. But it's the metal tools. They don't look hot even though they are like above 900 degrees.
That particular burn is called the Certified Sizzler.
Carrie, good to see you. Everyone's saying hi to Etta. Etta is not tired. Etta is fully zenned out.
I agree.
That is just what someone who has mastered meditating looks like. That's actually a good question. That is Etta. Sophie, Etta's her full name. Batch was our previous kitty. Etta is super, super young and full of energy, even though she's not displaying that right now. But from the hours of whenever you're doing computer work, Etta's all over you.
Yeah, it's a fact.
As soon as you break open a computer, Etta is your best friend.
So Chris opted to go for no lip wrap here. I think that's a pretty good call considering this is almost becoming a wine glass here with that beautiful flared lip. And you really want, for the wine glasses and the snifters, you want to have that thin, delicate sipping region to sip upon. And you really can't beat the magenta. It's just the #1 color around here. It might be the color of the year for us, the magenta. And Ada couldn't agree more, magenta.
Did we talk last week about having the crowd say magenta back to us?
No, but it's just a beautiful thing when you get like 75 people.
That is still...
I think last week we actually asked the people at home to say it at their home. And if you guys are sitting around with friends and family watching the show, or even if you're alone laying in bed, I highly encourage you to say the word magenta.
Magenta.
It feels pretty good. You want to stamp the side of it instead of the bottom. Don't forget the stamp. It was rightfully so. We would miss the stamp from time to time.
Carrie saying that Etta, when Carrie was visiting, Etta fell asleep right on her keyboard. She tries to do that to me on Tuesdays when I have like my one admin day of the week, and she decides that she wants to sleep on the computer that I'm using.
My favorite is when she sees the mouse moving around on the screen and she thinks that she must.
Oh, that's what she does to you?
Oh, 1,000% must attack the mouse. If she sees it moving on the screen, it is something she must kill immediately.
We have a meeting today where everyone gets together, and right around that table, there's a 4-story cat tower that Etta climbs up on. And I watched her dive bomb from the top of that right into the middle of the table while we were like discussing the pumpkin fest and all that for like October, and Etta just dive bombs in and takes over.
She's a menace to society. We love her.
She's got a lot of character.
She does. She's orange.
She is orange. It's an orange cat.
Did we read Trevor's comment from YT while I was gone?
I did not. I didn't check YT. I should have.
I will go ahead and read it. So Trevor says, "Hey everyone, hope all is well. I came to the gallery and brought some friends who have never been, and they loved it and said they can't wait to come back." Thanks
Super
for sharing
nice.
us with your friends,
Thanks, Trevor.
We love to see you guys here. I know you guys are here on a decently regular basis, but we love seeing new faces, so thank you. This is a beauty that is just getting finished up here.
You got it with those?
I think I can give this the old flip around.
Beautiful break. Oliver's going to be coming in quick with the claw, folks. This one's going to be for sale. Considering our time, we got 5 minutes left. We weren't planning on putting the acorn on here, but we are going to plan on sending you guys something amazing in the mail. Wow. For the giveaway piece. He's a super champion. Into the box.
It's safe. It's safe.
Well done, you guys. Beautiful piece. Super beautiful piece. So we'll hook you guys up. We've done it before. You guys have to enter the giveaway to win next week. But we're either going to pick something out in the gallery, make something for the show for next week. And that's that right there. I think we got 3 pieces in the box. And maybe we got some final words over in the kombucha zone.
Oh, I am so thankful to have been here today. These guys are awesome. Known them for a bit.
Long time.
Love them. And just really happy to be here. Love what they're doing. If you're in Michigan or if you're in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, California, check our website.
And a couple other places.
And a couple other places. Check our website. Sorry. We'll close it out with a tea. And the tea that people just love, it's a little obscure, but people love it. It's mint pear.
Ooh.
This is a 1% product.
Very cool.
It's delicious. Lots of pulp. Again, juicing the mint and the pear in our regular kombucha base, traditional, so it's about 1%. Thank you.
Guys, we're going to seal it off. We got some amazing products on the table. Pre-sales are still going for our signature pumpkin, and everyone who purchased tonight's getting a Unity Vibration sticker. Shouts out
1%.
to our amazing people over here helping out, drinking that amazing kombucha, and being an amazing audience. Shouts out to Bess. Shouts out to Oliver, Chris and Michelle, the whole family. It's been a beautiful show, 285, and we're going to see you guys next week for something that might just blow your mind. And then, of course, the Super Pump Show on
Virtual
October 1st.
Harvest Fest.
Virtual Harvest Fest.
Virtual Harvest Fest, everybody. It's coming up.
That's it, folks. It's a long Tuesday.
All right, have a great night.
We appreciate you all.
Good night.